All right, welcome back.
Hello.
We're gonna go
Welcome
to.
back.
We're gonna go to village. Then. The next level. Right.
Should I?
Trinacria Manor burns behind you, but some witnesses to the event have escaped. If anybody gets implicated by what those witnesses saw, then those implicated will talk about what they saw you do earlier on to save themselves as well. Good at reading.
I remember writing. I was like, that's very poorly worded. Nice.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Oh god, this
This is a
sound
great
effect.
cutscene.
That sound effect.
That's Toby. He basically did that, and he totally got what I wanted. He did that in one take. With like a bunch of people in the room, they were loving it. He did it really well.
That microphone thing sticking out of it, or the speaker sticking out of the plane there, wasn't that a reference to some kid's TV, like some random?
It's a reference to Tugs, which was the sister show of Thomas the Tank Engine. But not so much a reference to, but inspired by, I guess.
It's so he's a badass. Isn't he? Nice fringe.
Mr. So you came up with that zoom out because originally we storyboarded it, and originally I didn't know it was capable of doing a zoom. So originally it was supposed to like follow the wires, go down, and the camera was going to follow the wires up to a detonator here or something. But you were like, nah, make it zoom out instead, and they'll blow it with a cannon. And that was for sure a better direction. We made that cutscene in the same room, that was good.
It was probably more easy to do as well, actually, in a way.
Yeah, I think we positioned all those separate objects for that final frame in a line, in their arrangement, and then screenshotted it, and then used that picture as a separate object to zoom out into. I mean, to make correct thing. Village. So village, more of a representation of the actual level. Should have mentioned actually in fucking Manor how it's a very weird, counterintuitive start, and probably a bad decision if we were ever employed to take a fucking game seriously, which is, you start off tutorial and it's like, look at all this fancy fast shit you can do. And then it's like, nah, Mansion, you can't boost. You gotta just fucking walk slowly and use these shit weapons. And then it's like level 2's like, oh, we'll bring that back. Now you can do all that shit again, remember? Don't forget.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But it's good. It's good, the fucking village. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is
what do you
just some
think? I
bonus
mean,
stuff
I
on
think
the left that I'm trying to do, but so.
Yeah, that's optional, yeah.
I think this is a nice start. It really, like you say, it feels a bit more like the actual game, and it's not too hard. I hope it's none of the game's easy, but at least there's no like instant death bits so much. There's no flaw you can.
Well, saying that, people do. I think your average person does die here, and it's usually at the same part. Like, it's usually when they have to climb the hill. Or when they get to the top of the hill.
That's true. I mean, I guess saying that though, I mean, it could be shorter, but it's a fairly short level. It's not like, when.
I think the length is good. Yeah, I think the length is good. It's not too frustrating one to restart, in my opinion.
So Sliver can teleport in at the start. These are obviously the people we trained with in the tutorials. So let's talk to them.
That was. That was also a good idea of yours to have them teleport in, and also teleport in at different times as well. You're very aware of the capability of what you can make happen. I was like, oh, you can do that. That's
slightly more interesting. It's quite a few Deus Ex references at the beginning of this.
Yeah, quite a few too much. Yeah. But yeah, but it's a huge thing. But I mean, I keep forgetting that that is also like a huge uh part of movement. The fact that and the thing that's lacking in Deus Ex 2 and Deus Ex 3, going up to NPCs, having huge philosophical conversation tangents with them, you know, and that's a
That was
huge
in
part of
Deus
what
Ex 2 a bit,
movement's
wasn't
so
it?
supposed to be about. Huh?
Were you saying that was in Deus Ex 2 and 3, or it was lacking?
No, that wasn't. That wasn't really. And,
Yeah. It's definitely a
um,
movement.
They want the Sicilian cable. The man in the burning mantle that you just emerged from.
Taser and Ansel doing very providing their voices very early on. Again, my Kador's in his very early fucking mode, still trying to find out what his voice actually is. Didn't want him to just be a Cam Clark rip off. He's a fucking console video game actor, if you ever wonder. Because you were like, I don't know how we came up with him having like a fucking erudite accent. Maybe that was my decision.
I
can't
think it
remember.
probably
I
was.
just remember.
Because that's more in the theme
Yeah,
of
I
Mass
just
City and everything,
remembered.
right?
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
But that's more in the theme of Mass City, like having sort of upper class.
Yeah, I think Kato kind of grew up alongside what the fucking setting was as well. But I also again like being like fucking the arrogant spirit of it. Like what you're supposed to do in writing is apparently make your characters likable, or at least relatable. It's like, how about no? You know, how about making him a fucking prick? And hence why there's a whole sub thing with him and Abby Mountain that he might be a prejudiced person as well. There's a whole thing that does he hate Southerners? This made up race kind of thing. But we can get to that later. But again, also I'm talking way too much here. But like coming back to the fucking earliness of the voice acting, like if you don't get beyond these levels, you'll never see that it actually kind of gets a little bit better in terms of not only the audio recording quality, but also kind of like the delivery of stuff as well. Though I guess that you might be clued into that when you see the opening cutscene. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let us know.
A legend.
I feel like these voices are
So
extra
you'll know
quiet.
one stick for sure soon, right, Cable?
Why aren't you all taking revenge then? Not enough confirmation yet? Boris,
I couldn't bear.
but
You know the answer.
Oh,
At
that's
this
good.
stage, it's best to stay under the radar. For now, we can agree.
It's
That must be
this is as dry as this speaking is. It is kind of slowed down world building, I guess. I mean, there is like oh, the Eastern Kingdom. Who the fuck are the Eastern Kingdom? Oh, fucking Tarmet. Who the fuck is Tarmet? But at the same time, you are given some things to grasp onto, like the First Regiment are here. They are the guys with fucking M4s and shit. Blah 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 blah. So I mean, it is slowly holding your hand into things a bit.
Shit out of my
Yeah, another Diablo reference here because we have a village. And then we have a bloke standing by the fountain.
Are you
starts-
new to the game? Quite a treasure
He
you
starts
have
talking
in
about
that Roderick
the Roderick
room.
things.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. Please don't kill me. We didn't want the First Regiment here. Sal helped make the deal.
I know you're trying to get us to
We-
do these voices, but you did quite well.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was supposed to be Marcus at one point. That was supposed to be Tager at one point. Because they can both do fucking Kane impressions a lot better, but for whatever reason, they didn't do the voice or didn't want to or something. I can't remember.
Are you new to the game? Quite a treasure you have in that Roderick.
Does he give you a code eventually?
Quite a
he gives you a passcode to the computer, and he gives you a trait if you click on him enough times.
Ah,
There's your trait.
nice.
But yeah, you.
These things must be stopped, right? Now, you just have an orgy. That's quite a treasure.
That was
You have
ridiculous.
I like the anal sex one, because he says rubbing that Roderick Noob or something. It's very big stretch. I also like pass it along, the Roderick Doob. Oh, it's quite good. There's also a secret one. I don't know if we implemented that. Well, the OG is cut for it anyway, and it should be in the game files. Where if you come back with fat trait,
Ah, interesting.
he comments on your man boobs and says Roderick boob, maybe. But I can't remember whether he actually bothered implementing that. Yeah. So these weapons, shotgun and bison,
Yeah, they're kind of early ones.
or
I
bison.
mean, they're slightly less useful later on, aren't they? So it's nice to include them.
Yeah, I guess bison's always got
That's
like
good still, yeah. You can push things back. with
some like that pushback is great, yeah.
it, Yeah.
And the recoil, the low recoil and the very fast reload speed.
Yeah, actually, it's true. It reloads with
I mean, overall, it's good.
It's
I
not very
think
high
this is nice and.
Like, because this quick shotgun has a good sort of feel to it, but
Absolutely, I think this is an appropriate stage for shotgun use, like
yeah,
the fleshy kind of feel when it makes contact.
this is where people die, isn't it?
But yeah, so most people get killed here either from an insta rocket or just underestimating how quick your health goes down from bullets.
Yeah.
And no one would expect that. I think the optimum route to do this bit is to just fucking boost over straight into that mana
Yeah,
field
yeah.
and then hold the mana shield
Oh,
on
yeah.
and then just
That's a
fucking
good strategy.
from safety take them out.
Just when you're in the
Yeah. But like when it's your first time player, you wouldn't think to just fucking,
Yeah, but that-
you know,
you
when
know-
you've been slowly going through.
I think that's kind
Yeah.
of nice as well, though. To be fair, like it's you can actually kind of strategize bits like that. And I mean, more later in the game, where you actually got to think about like what's the best. way to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
things.
No, I think actually, to be honest, that's the, you know, I think the trailer might misportray like the speed at which you would play it. Because I remember Taja like playing a few levels and being like, I'm not really good at like games which require you to have fast macro, and it's like, oh, micro or whatever. And it's like, well, I don't think that is the best way to play. I think you got to very slowly progress
Well, it's a
as you would in
combination-
real life.
It's a
'cause-
combination of that slow progression and then just like fly and boost past everything to the end. You know,
Right,
that is
right,
often
yeah.
the best
Well,
strategy.
it depends.
but again, like,
Yeah, it depends.
fine.
Yeah.
That's. But then you miss a load of secrets and you miss a load of some kind of incentive.
Yeah, it depends on your level of patience, I guess, at the time. But I don't know. It's that can't always be boosted past everything.
I'm going to be able to use
So,
this computer for very long.
I mean, we had to make sure some levels absolutely could be boosted past because you want some speed run ability as well. So loads of loads of fucking what are they called, podcasts on here.
But you need
But
the-
you won't be
need
able
the
to listen
password.
to them, yeah, if
don't.
you don't have the password. Oh, did you get it?
I
Oh,
did
I
get
didn't
it,
even
yeah.
know you said it.
Salvo.
Nice.
The thing is, I think I'm about to win the level. Do you have to walk off the right? I can't remember. You probably
Yeah.
do, don't you? Okay, so we can.
Yeah,
do it
it's
here.
just walk off the
It's
right, fuck it.
Salvo tolerant. No,
But
no, well, then I got the mess the info that I completed the level, but salvo tolerant actually the main.com. Okay.
Salvo torrent at chilidomain.com. And then Iron and Copper, of course, is Deus Ex reference. Don't remember if it's case sensitive or anything.
Ah, that works. Right.
I think that's a Iron and copper was a password among a list of passwords that Marcus stipulated we had to put in. I think we got them all in eventually.
Currency ruined the antediluvian system. We use it only now in order to trade with the Eastern Kingdom.
Ned Smith.
You can see how long this is by how slowly this is ticking.
Individuals belonging to Mass City will officially use
I think this is your longest one.
are a small number of corset agents who perform outside.
The other ones are good. Well, yeah, this explains what Cater is. The other ones are good though for like them having more than one voice actor at a time.
Yes.
The-
Hello.
Yes. Well, yes. Let's move on then. What
The
exactly
the downside of these are that is that I'd have to commit to a delivery. I can't just do what I do for other OGs and like fucking make alternate OGs. So I had to like fucking choose one.
reckless freedom that we face in this age?
They no doubt threaten corporal punishments First Regiment, but by direct extension,
Yeah.
surely threaten
Yeah, the third one, like there's about 4 people going on here. Matt does a pretty good job. This guy called Matt. You've met him a couple of times, I think. He plays Tarek Malki.
self,
Many
or
have
We
questioned
can talk about Tarek Malki some other time, I guess.
Kyrgyzstan.
But,
Looking back
eh.
at pages of history, some may suspect our
Not to mention the vast great fierce.
hey, I mean, here's a hostile right here. He came first.
I think you do. I think it took you a couple of monologues to get a feel of Ned Smith, but I think you eventually got on point with the knowing the feeling of what you want to get the explosive fucking dynamic parts of him out. I do have the raw WAV files from our recordings. There's a couple of times where you keep laughing because my most frequent direction is, yeah, very good. More though, like bigger,
Yeah.
bigger. You know.
Ties and relations to the
Sorry.
African
Quite a
continent.
common
Eastern Kingdom
direction for lots of voices.
Exploitation
Everyone's supposed to be over the top.
Yeah.
Some who read
I think one I remember unique to movement saying a few times was for multiple people was, take the piss out of the line, don't be intimidated by it, like not intimidated by it, but like, don't give like, because most people, pretty much everyone isn't a professional actor. There's a few people who provide voices who are actors by trade, and yeah, but for most people it's their first time doing something like this, so it's kind of like just take the piss out of the line to the extent that you think you've done it too much, like if you heard an actor deliver that's too much, that's wrong, and then do it more, or get around to that, get to that point first, like get to the too much point, and then you can fucking go backwards from there and lessen it if you need to or whatever. But it was fun. I fucking love that process, actually, man. Like, that was the thing as well, is like, regardless of outcome, first, that's why I bring it up again, that the only aspect that I didn't like was making cutscenes alone.
Well, probably because, if you've
Because
got,
every
like,
other aspect was in of the moment was good and valuable, regardless of outcome. So yeah.
But if you've
Especially
got
like
really
getting
long,
voices, yeah.
like dialogue-heavy cutscenes, to actually do all the animations and adding interesting stuff going on for like 20 minutes and cut through whatever.
Yeah, again, that would be fine. It's just the actual, just never came out good enough in a way. Yeah. Plus there was other stuff at the time.
Just you made a working calculator for this game because
Yeah, you should take me through that. You did that in Gary's mod once. I remember when Gary's mod was fresh. And you made a calculator in Gary's mod.
Yeah, with WireMod, that was kind of crazy. Just with logic gates, I did that. But I mean, this is much simpler than that. But... And then I tried to make it so that you could actually jump on the buttons in Gary's mod, but yeah, that was too complicated. The physics was too complicated. Did you notice this? They put Boris Johnson as a fucking cunt Psytrance remix I made.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. You sent it to him, didn't you? Not Boris Johnson, obviously, but
I sent it to yeah, cunt gang. But yeah, he liked it. He was like actively encouraging remixes.
oh,
It's a bit quiet. Can't really make it out. Alright, yeah. Any emails in here?
that's about it.
Yeah, alright.
Just fucking lore emails and a rumor. Oh, and there is a little secret in the recycle bin, but that's for the player to find out what it does. It's not really immediately apparent what it even does when you do find it.
Is it? It's not one of the achieving multi-milkman things or whatever it was. There are secrets in this game.
Nope.
I don't even understand.
No, I think that one simply just unlocks a trait somewhere on the level, basically. But it doesn't tell you where, so you got to go back and look for it. Yeah, I think a cutscene. One more cutscene coming in. Yeah, it's yeah. So probably the longest InfoLink cutscene.
Great.
10 minutes. Fucking very slow. So what's your opinion on these InfoLink cutscenes?
But I mean, this was a way to get around the. I always think we would use them more, but obviously you're complaining about how long it takes to make the normal cutscenes and how boring it is.
No, I'm not complaining about the length. I'm just.
Well, it took forever.
It's
Well,
just the only thing
I mean,
that's in the length of making them. I didn't
Yeah.
I wasn't complaining about that. I just didn't foresee that I wouldn't enjoy the process of it.
yeah. Well, okay, fine. It's
Yeah.
a really long, boring process then. But whereas this, you just load up the lines and more or less it does it, right? So we can make them extra long.
And then certain people
Which
will
this
be
one's
able
pretty
to
long.
force you to do things.
I mean, you were never a Metal Gear Solid fan because you weren't really a console guy back in the day. But I mean, yeah, it's a kind of staple of the old first two Metal Gear Solid games, where,
That's interesting.
like, especially in the second one, where they upgraded to like good graphics. They'd have the two characters would meet, and then it'd be like they'd do that in a full cutscene, and then the new character would be like, switch over to nano communications so nobody can overhear us, and then it's like
Nice.
save the budget, and just have us talk in this radio thing, even though that's not what InfoLinks. So the reason I thought I wanted an InfoLink thing, that was inspired by my first ever experience of watching Fred play the campaign of StarCraft.
Yes, I was going to say. So
I
this
guess it was
reminds me of the StarCraft, cutscenes like that.
Yeah. No, that's definitely what it's kind of inspired by. And I think at the time I was quite young when I first saw that, and I thought it was probably more sophisticated than it actually was, what they were talking about. So I wanted that in, but I wanted that kind of plotting feel. I mean, it always felt like they were plotting some stuff, or like discussing what is being plotted onto them. Yeah.
The other thing
How do you feel about the pacing, though? I mean, yeah, go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say the music helps. I think before we put music in there, it's just monologues, but I think it's kind of building.
Yeah, because I was going to say, what do you think about the pacing? Because it's especially with the pauses in between lines, which exists, I think, because originally every single dialogue, every piece of voice acting was supposed to have the option to be text of speech instead.
Well, it's that.
If
I think
people
it's
don't know
just,
that.
artifact of how it loads up the sounds and just the way it's made. Like, maybe the text to speech would have done it. Yeah, the text to speech. I mean, it sounded different on different systems, and then it started crashing on certain computers and stuff, and it was just like, this is not worth it. We put all these voices in. I think the idea was to have like a light exe downloadable that would have not had all the sound files in with all the people talking and been like a fraction of the size. But nah, the actual voices are better anyway.
Yeah, it was like for the sake of the spirit of the game, I was reluctant to let things early, long, enduring aspects of the vision go like that. But yeah, I guess it was one to let go. I mean, that was one of your earliest kind of ideas. So it was up to you, I guess.
But
whether
I think
you
it
wanted
was
that one in or not.
it was an early idea, and it made it a long way. Like it was sort of while we're trying to actually get it ready in the last like couple of years of when we were developing it, that I was just like, no, this is too much.
dealing with any Southerners. I'm without
I just can't be bothered.
affiliation now. You dig.
Yeah,
That's a good line.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up, but I suppose it pertains to Slivic and Pearl.
So this is Owen doing Red Hand.
He's really good. Like that versus Octave is so different.
Bastard.
Right. There you go. And he also does Cadmus, but Cadmus is not really fleshed out much in Act 1. But I'm a fan of how he does Red Hand and Octave actually.
Yeah.
Again, straight off the cuff in a way, like just have the lines and he just goes with it.
I mean, like you
I
said,
think
he is one
funked-
who is actor
yeah.
by trade as well.
So as far as the
What? Say that again,
He
sorry?
is actually an actor, isn't he? Though, so
It's more
He's,
dangerous than death.
Yes. And if he comes on for a guest episode, he should definitely plug his shit.
yeah.
So his shit's probably mostly going to be theater. So you're going to have to be in the UK if you want to see him. Yeah, I think it's a good time to bring in Red Hand in this story. Like, bring in a character. I think it's kind of like... I mean, how bad is it that all of these characters are fucking hateable? Like, what's your experience like playing this? Like, they're either actively hateable or like just moody, broody,
Carnage Man's kind of
Like, is it too much?
murderer, like.
Yeah, Carnage Man kind of lend some levity to
Also,
the whole
yeah, comic relief.
thing, I suppose.
Malachi's overseas.
Yeah.
He's not busy dealing with those.
Which is funny, it reminds me of this whole thing with Abbey Mountain where, he's supposed to, Kato's supposed to hate him, but like, the more I came back to the game, like through editing, the more I realized, people are probably gonna like Abbey Mountain a lot more, like, than Kato.
I don't know, you did a
This
good
is
job
like-
of making Abbey Mountain pretty hateable. I think that first cutscene he's in, that's a good. It's just like,
Yeah, I guess
we'll see that one.
to
eventually.
throw in, throw in lines about him just being murder and stuff.
You've no humanity. You're snakes.
Oh no, he's gone. But the music, adding the music, I guess, is a good touch indeed. And also the touches you've added with the fucking whatever the fuck that's called in the background when it
Oscilloscope
shows the
and
voice bars and the
spectrum,
levels.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Just something more
Despite
visual going on.
though the little freeze between lines kind of highlights how choppy the
It goes grey rather than the colour.
playing the next line is, and which adds to the whole kind of realization that, oh my god, this takes fucking long to get through, and the fucking lines of it. But and also when fucking Per, Slivek, and Red Hand sign in, and it's like the lines that they signed in slowly, and they're supposed to interrupt him. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to say about lines and stuff. Like, and also like fuck it. I mean, you could talk for ages about how many fucking interruptions there are from characters interrupting other characters, but they can't do it straight away because the lines have to come in and stuff like that. But yeah,
You're a professional.
I think one of
it's funny.
you
But,
talk about the people signing in and
yeah.
out. One of the sound effects I used a lot was the radar from Red Alert. I think when Mia played it, it said like,
Right, yeah.
"Why does my radar keep
That was
powering
another
down?
Please.
Huh? Why is
Why does my radar keep powering down?"
okay, right.
Willing or not.
The music, as much as it's an addition and it kind of is technically, you know, it's 2 tracks really. It's a slow, quiet mood and then a loud one. I mean, it's quite lucky though that it fits
I think it builds,
certain
I think it's
scenes.
good, yeah. Oh, well, like the
Yeah,
timing
but
of
I'm
it.
saying it's lucky because it was just kind of it's a leftover track that we didn't
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
So it kind of almost arbitrarily threw it in and it stuck well enough, kind of thing. It's quite funny.
A new armory supplement.
Like it, yeah.
Yeah, this bit.
Yeah, it's
It's good. It's good.
Fuck up and fucking go.
very, very sleazy motherfuckers. I think even Owen said that after reading that line, like, pretty sleazy. I think I'd been watching a lot of Deadwood at the time. It was just like I wanted to kind of capture that kind of sleazy normalization of prostitution everywhere. But then, you know, after Goodlip's voice actor delivers their lines, like it's a change canon that whatever. There's a whole thing about the spectrum there. But again, that cutscene gets cut out. We'll see. All right.
Should we do Forest quick?
Yeah, fuck it.
Let's
You
just-
got time?
let's do the next one.
Will that suffice?
This is a long cutscene as well, isn't it?
Enter Nickery Manor.
Not that long. It's about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes.
Had already stormed the area. The manor was in flames.
But right, this is an example of what I was. Oh, this is Daniel, by the way, Daniel G. If we're not going to say anyone's real name, another actor, also friends with Owen. So them both doing the scene together, but you know, at different times and different places. Yeah, it's good to see them together in this. I think they've actually done a stage performance together in real life.
Really?
Anyway, I actually wanted. So this is what, even from the first draft back in fucking 08, which is a completely different story, a completely different thing, ridiculously shorter. Like completely different thing. Not at all what it is like now. I think Malachi and Slivek and Kador and Khalees are the only characters that survive. Oh, and Clay and Evans are the only characters that survive that draft into what this game is. But even since that draft, what I wanted cutscenes to be were not with Kador. Like everything that happens to Kador, apart from a few cutscenes at like, you know, act turning points, will be in game. Like if there's ever a cutscene, it should be for something that you can't do in gameplay. And what you can't do in gameplay is be with 2 other characters far away from Kador. So I think the whole thing was originally in the old school draft was to show fucking people coming, like Kador had to be taken out. So they were coming up, they were just setting up the obstacles that Kador would have to fucking fight against coming up ahead. Basically teasing you what the next fucking sub boss was going to be. But as we decided to make the story a bit more complicated than that, it was to just cut away to loads of other characters. Also, The Wire was a fucking, you know, show we were watching at the time, and fucking, you know, that's like a scene with these characters over here. Here's a scene with these 2 other fucking unrelated characters all the way fucking over here, and just jump in between, you know, 2 characters interacting, you know, in all different locations. So the main point of the cutscene is to like not have Kador in them, basically. And most cutscenes should be, you know, not about Kador and somewhere else. Did he teleport away, or is he just activating his stealth. Who knows? All right.
Midway through life's journey, where we thought
Forgot you put my voice in this
we
level.
were alone.
Yes. So you're supposed to wonder what that's about. That voice.
It's kind of an interesting level because
later
it's
it's
very
revealed.
short. Oh look! Did you see the? Can you see the magic ball?
Oh, nice.
So that
So
is
that's random. That's
Yeah.
randomly.
So throughout the entire game, I think there's 7 of them. There's these magic balls, and they just spawn. Like when you first start the game, it decides where they're going to be in the whole game, and it just spawns them when you get there. So the idea is to find them all. But yeah, this is. I
That's
was
so
going to
good.
say this is a short level, and you know, you just have to walk to the end basically, and there's one guy you have to kill. But there's these foxes here. That's basically the only obstacle. But there's other stuff going on. Let's get this magic ball.
Yes, if the magic ball spawns in a wall or something, you can mouse over it and it comes closer to you, right? Whoa!
彼らは地球上に散らばっている。それらをすべて見つけてください。
They were a very early idea, but they almost didn't make it,
I know,
right?
yeah.
I think they were.
There was some code that we put in like before we made like any levels to do it, and even that info link I think was there for a very long time. I ended up adding that Japanese text to speech voice there, but yeah. So that was like you say a very early idea because we wanted to have all these sorts of bonuses, all secrets everywhere, all sorts of like random extra stuff in the game. Yeah, actually most of it did make it in because we just thought it's such a shame not to include it when it's been there for so long.
And especially since we fucking made things that were like huge trials in comparison to what it would take to implement that, really.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm not gonna.
You're gonna go to.
I'm not gonna win just yet because we've got to do this. I mean, there's. I don't think I've.
Do you have to get
actually...
the? Huh?
What were you saying? Do you have to?
Do you have to get the Dragon Ball again now since you died, or
no,
is that? Do you have that now?
I've got it. Yeah. So you don't have to win the level. Like
Okay.
Traits. So traits, there's 5 of them on every level. Like even on this level, there should be 5 traits here. So.
It's funny. Yeah, you mentioned how old you had implemented the kind of filler position of that Dragon Ball guy's talking animation. Because I remember when we would have to like open the object to put in new characters talking frames for info links or whatever. You know, you'd have to find a free space, and it's like, who the fuck's this guy again? Like,
it's Proku.
Oh, is it Proku?
Yeah, like
dude,
Goku,
I've clearly, mate. I must have some reading. To be, I apologize to people who actually do have reading disorders. Is that how you refer to it? But like I don't know. All this time, literally all this time, I've thought it's Porku. You've said it out loud.
No,
it's Proku.
Like, you know,
that makes a lot more sense.
Like Goku, isn't it? I mean, there's some
right.
secret
Yeah,
stuff
that
at
makes
the top. I don't know if you want to talk about the secret stuff at the top of this level, because I'm probably not going to make it all the way up there because it is just a bit fiddly to do.
Yeah. I mean, leave it to players to get up there because though be warned, players, you might not be able to handle what's up there if it's your first time playing this level.
Yeah, there's some actual like
with the fucking shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, the
you
gotta
probably come back after you.
So like this weapon, like there's a few niche uses where there's some really weak enemies where you can actually use it ranged and it kind of sort of shoots in this massive cone. But also the bullets like get exponentially less powerful as far away as they are. So obviously if you're really close and it does loads of damage, which means you can like if you find the right spot on certain like actual big enemies, you can do a lot of damage or even like one-shot them with it. You know, etherealize inside them and then shoot them at the right spot. But most of the time it's completely useless, this gun. But it is what you get on this level.
Oh, We don't have you don't have a teleport to get underneath the floor.
No, yeah. So
See
there's
if there's
another.
anything down
There's
there.
another one down there. But actually, you know what I'm gonna do is just do some cheats because I do want to show that off. So there's also cheats in this game. There's instructions.
Oh
on
my
the internet.
god.
Huh? You know. Right. So now I can go show you where this. There's a little puzzle here, but I just wanted to show Punchatron here, he was a character that we made in Diablo 1, where you play the sorcerer, chuck all the items, all the clothes on the floor, walk around naked and just punch things. And the point was you'd punch a barrel and just die instantly. So we added him in the game. So he's a naked sorcerer who I also liked the way I did the voice for this, which was, get all the samples of the sorcerer from Diablo 1, put it in a AI voice engine that, it asks you to say various phrases and then eventually it'll imitate your voice with AI. But I just played random sorcerer samples into him, so he sounds like this.
Hello. You are indeed impressive, sir.
Oh, so I think this is your dialogue that you wrote, and I'm like, I'm not changing that. Just keep it the same.
I'm curious enough to be your errand.
He's got such a good voice. And then you can fight him, so he comes and walks towards you, punches you. I don't have any bullets there.
Do you get anything? Oh, yeah.
You get a trade box for killing him, which I can't pick up because I've used cheats. But I think you actually get a die if you do all this thing properly. Yeah? And dies are another one of the secret things in the game that there's 30 of them or something throughout the whole game in specific areas. So I've got all the cheats now. May as well show off how ridiculous these cheats are. Some of them already basically one of them. Anyway.
That's probably the best spell, to be honest.
Alright. Let's complete the rest of the level properly then. Yeah, that level, I didn't appreciate at first, I think, because I just played, okay, you shoot some foxes, you shoot that guy, it's very short. But then after we added all the extra stuff, I think it's quite nice. But very easy to overlook.
I think it comes in a good point as well. It's
Yeah.
Slow pace. Though at the same time, again, if the actual cutscenes were made to the extent they were originally supposed to be, you would have just played a fucking 1 minute long level and then have to go through another fucking 20-minute cutscene or something.
Yeah, to be fair, we've already had 2 really long cutscenes just now.
Yeah.
Right, we probably get another one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but this one is cut significantly from what it's supposed to be.
It's also kind of interesting. It's got some visual stuff going on. It's not just one guy talking and another personal teleporter usage.
Yeah. And that's what your voice was about at the start of this level. It's actually from and then it's supposed to cut to a transmission that Ned Smith is making.
Oh, now we got this intro. Nice. Yeah, Taja made the music to this, didn't he? He did a really good job.
Taja made the music, brilliantly. Took a while to get it to point. I mean, yeah, I was quite. This was again one of the last things we ended up doing. But apart from these drawings were made a long time ago because this was one of the things I was a bit passionate about because I'm a big fan of opening credit sequences. I mean, this one had since been done. I mean, I'm a fan of True Detective first season, as many people are, but I was kind of like, oh god damn it, when they fucking released their opening credits because it's slightly similar. Then again, Vice City, realized afterwards, again, you're not a console guy, but if you've ever seen Vice City, those credits are quite similar to this one too. But you know, for a long time, I knew I wanted these credits. Opening credit. I'm a big opening credits guy, basically.
Do you think anyone ever got here
that
and thought this is the end of the game?
No way. Maybe some people hoped so.
Yeah, it's just the beginning.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's what I also wanted to hit people with. Like, oh yeah, you did 3 fucking long ass levels. Now it's starting.
Yeah.
You know, and tutorials probably.
Hopefully
What do you
not all
think of them?
Of the levels or of this credits?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe the credits. What
Yeah,
about
the
the characters
credits.
coming down?
Oh right, yeah.
Hmm.
Is that one
I don't know.
Khalees? I can't
Yeah.
quite make that up.
There's Khalees. They
Oh,
also
is that
have
Scorpion's Hunter?
I think
one?
nice. Yeah, very big character.
It's a good one.
So,
I can't even remember what that's referencing properly.
Can you I think it's referencing a video, Marcus, like the Who is the Who. I'm not even sure the background. You recognize who that is, right?
I couldn't. Was it Corporal Punishment?
That's Court Pun.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Extra
But
shady, who's that?
yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to be a bigger character, but he's supposed to come in like Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, whatever. But...
Yeah, he's referenced a lot in Act 1. You've made sure he's on every computer somehow. Yeah, it's still a bit janky in some places, the credits, but like, you know, whatever.
I mean, it's one actually that resizes to the resolution. So if you actually make this a big resolution,
yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's it gets picked up at this point. But look, see, the backgrounds aren't moving here, and they should always be moving. So like, you know,
they're moving a bit.
Summons up.
But that's to do with how the level resizes. Because if it's a bigger resolution, then it's gonna if it gets
I know, but that I think we were having a conversation about this over text, very far away from each other, and I think I was trying to convey that point that this would happen, but I don't think we were understanding what each other were talking about. It ended up that way.
Well, I think it's better than it used
that
to
is
be. Anyway.
Owen's other character.
Yeah.
And like, it is a bonus of the different resolution. Like, you can see Dionysus there in the silhouette in the mushroom cloud, but yeah, you wouldn't see that on the old school default resolution, which is the resolution that the majority of cutscenes are set to, which is 1024 by 768 or something.
Yeah.
Because
that was the original resolution.
Yeah, I'm an old school resolution purist, since some of like the bullet length die at certain revolutions, and a lot of the early levels were based around having that limited purview. So I keep playing on that resolution. I'm an old school purist that way. I also like make it an extra pain for myself because it's only the last time I played it that I used 1 and 2, the keys 1 and 2 for potions. I've always been using the fucking brackets since as well, which is
the brackets are hard coded, but exactly. I always ended up re-hotkeying 1 and 2 to the potions. So I just made that the default eventually.
When I last played using them, it's like, oh, that is a lot better.
But I think we had to make the resolution bigger for when widescreen monitors. This is how old this game was. When it used to be 4:3, and 1024 by 768 was actually a reasonable resolution. But No, it didn't cut it later on, I think, and rather than rescale everything, I think just giving you more vision was a good idea. And then also,
Yes. However,
it lets you
Oh,
see
yeah.
way more stuff. So if you go on like a 4K monitor and you make the resolution 4K, you kind of have an advantage over someone like you who plays 1024 by 768.
right, but also on laptops, those are kind of small. So if your laptop is able to run it, the old school resolution isn't a bad fit. I mean, sometimes it's even too big, and you have to fucking maximize it. Otherwise, you can't get certain tabs on the bottom sometimes. Or it used to be. Maybe we fixed most of those.
Yeah, maybe laptops have better screens nowadays. I don't know, but that was definitely an issue for a while. All right, cool. Let's leave it there, and we'll start again. This is
Hope.
Death 1, as we call it, but really it's now called what? Balne Pencil's Venue, but we'll play that next time.
Yeah, some fucking reference to Roman Republic or some fucking bullshit. I think I was reading Rubicon at the time.
Talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Peace.
Yeah.
All right.